With election 2015, I'm Rick Moore, and now I'm at the headquarters of Gloucester City Council President Paul McGeary, who is running for mayor. And Councillor, tell me a little bit about your background, if you would, please.
Well, Rick, I've lived in Gloucester for 40 years. I came up here in 1975 to work for the Gloucester Daily Times. I spent most of my career in journalism. I went on from the Gloucester Times to the Boston Globe. Spent 25 years at the Globe. Along the way, I met and married my wife, Catherine, and we have one son, Michael. We have lived in the same house on Eastern Avenue for 35 years. And at the Globe, I started off as a journalist, as a working journalist on the night desk. Metro, National Foreign. I was on the desk, on the phone with Colin Nickerson from Tiananmen Square in 1989. But as technology became more and more a part of what we did, it became more and more a part of what I did until I became a technology manager for the Globe. And I ended up overseeing multi-million-dollar projects, technical projects for both the Globe and the New York Times Company. I had to bring them on time and on budget in a time of rapidly evolving technological change. And I retired in 2009, and I decided to see what Act Two was all about. And that led me to take out papers to run for council, and I was elected in 2009 to my first term.
So what were some of the other things that qualified you for city council, or maybe with your experience, or maybe some of your city council experiences?
Well, on the council, I have spent the entire 6 years on the Budget and Finance Committee. I've also served on things like the Healthy Gloucester Collaborative, the Climate Change Assessment Committee, the Harbor Planning Commission, which sets the rules for the industrial harbor. This last term, and starting in 2014, my colleagues elected me their president so that I oversee the functions of the council. I set the agendas, I make the appointments, that kind of thing. I have built a reputation on the council, I think, as a consensus builder and a problem solver. Those are the things that speak to my council experience.
What are some of the priorities that you would see yourself handling as mayor? What are some of the things that concern you about Gloucester?
Well, I essentially have three core goals for my mayoral administration. The first is economic diversity. We need to broaden our economic base. We need to bring in 21st century businesses to Gloucester so that we spread the burden, the tax burden, across a broader area, a broader economic base. The more industry that comes in, the less of the cost of government will be borne by the residential property taxpayer. But beyond that, new industries bring jobs. And when you think of it, what's brought people here for 400 years is that there was work here. That's what drew me to Gloucester. It was a working town. We need to keep that. We don't want to become a tourist town exclusively. Tourism is important and it will be part of our future, but we need to be a blue-collar working town. That's the basis of our prosperity. It has been and it will be. Second is education. Good schools are the foundation of good government, of good citizenship. And importantly, good schools are the foundation on which we build our economic prosperity. If we want to bring those kinds of 21st century businesses here, then we have to ensure that we have a trained and skilled workforce ready to fill the 21st century jobs. That's the first question they ask. Is, how can I fill the jobs that I want to bring to your community with people from your community? That's what we need to ensure. And the last is what I simply call good government. Good government isn't declaiming from the dais at council meetings. It's really quietly done in the back rooms, talking to people, having ward meetings, outreach. An example, the wind turbines in the industrial park. That was something that I very much favored. But I knew that there might be some resistance. I got out early. I walked the neighborhoods. I held ward meetings. I brought people in to discuss the technical and financial implications. In the end, it became a very successful effort, and those turbines bring in almost $400,000 a year every year to our city.
It's a highly competitive mayoral race this year with a lot of qualified, good candidates, compassionate people. How do you differ from the other candidates?
Well, I think the major difference is I have a track record that people can look at. You know, if you talk to the other candidates, they're going to say we all believe in good government. We all believe in good schools. We all believe in economic diversity. But who has actually worked over 6 years to bring that about? whether it was the wind turbines that I alluded to, or defending the school budget in difficult times so that we can have an innovation school at O'Malley, so that we can have the one computer per child initiative. Those are things that I have done quietly, behind the scenes, not showy, not flashy, not colorful, but getting the job done. That, I think, is the key to an effective CEO of a $120 million corporation. And that's what I bring to this office.
As Gloucester City Council President Paul McGeary. With election 2015, I'm Rick Moore.